All right, guys, take 2 on red Squarebody 80 model trucks today. This one here, you've seen some clips, you've seen some videos, you've seen a little teaser here and there, but this one right here is kind of the real deal in every aspect. And I want to remind people, unfortunately, we cannot take every truck to this level without 1, a bunch of time, and 2, a bunch of money. Thankfully, Kenny, which does tons of work with us, took this one on as a personal vendetta, and it's what, 60, 90 days, or it's
about 120 days.
Yeah, so about 3 months, 4 months of time in doing this truck steady, and he's gone from front to back. But the truck basically started as a project somebody had started disassembling. It was a 60,000 original miles by documented title, 1985. Six Chevrolet, half-ton truck. And once we looked at it, and of course he looked at it from every way, shape, or form, because obviously he's the doctor. He's not wearing his lab coat today, but he's the man on the particular details. It was like, this truck is the right one. It was just no question. It had to be done. I mean, even down to how nice the bed was and how preserved the truck was. You got to clip back a little while. We made a lot of videos since then, but even when he had the carpet out, and we can send you that video or the link, when he had the carpet and the flooring out, even the red on the floor pans was still excellent. Fully original, not a rust bucket, nothing, no sheet metal replaced, right?
No.
Yeah, so no sheet metal replaced.
Not to my knowledge.
That we know of. And when you look underneath the floorboard, you know, and you don't see like a street sign or a yield sign turned upside down, welded in, because that's what happened, and you see red floor with slight wear, that's pretty damn impressive on these trucks. So I'll let him kind of take over and give you the $4 tour, but it's, of course, it's sitting next to the one we listed earlier, which is fully original, but it's a 2-wheel drive. This is really close to original in a 4-wheel drive with some mild, tasteful touches. And as you can see, the AC is even ice cold. She's dripping on the floor, and it's not cold out today. It's pretty warm. So he had to turn the AC down, and you can see it's working good. So take off, Kenny.
All right, so just to give a background on the whole story with this truck, a guy that I've known for about 20 years called me one day and told me basically he needed money, and he had started on this truck as a personal project. He wanted to be like us and have a nice square body to drive around. So he started disassembling it, pulled the drivetrain out, pulled the front clip off, started wire wheeled the frame to bare metal, pretty much from the firewall forward. The original engine obviously was a 305. He wanted to upgrade that, so he purchased a 350 for it, which was part of the deal when I got the truck. But anyway, so he had also taken the carpet out and the headliner, but everything else was in the interior was still in there. So what I started with was I wet sand and buffed the whole truck just to see where I was at, because obviously it has been repainted. This would be the original color, which is apple red. This color here is, I can't tell you exactly what the color is, but when you have it bricked, which is a picture process they do at the paint shops to match it up, it actually comes up as a GM color called Pull Me Over Red. So that's the color that it's supposed to be.
Kind of like a torch red.
Huh?
Kind of like a torch red.
It's like a torch. Well, there's actually 5 different colors that came up on the list. Viper red was one, the GM color, a Ford color, and a Kia color. They're all very similar, but I feel like it looks more like the Viper red myself, but anyway, that's what that is. This is the original paint in the bed. The original owner had a plastic bed liner, which was the only type of bed liner in 1986. So that explains the light scuffs on the top of the bed ribs here, and on the light scuffs on the inside of the tubs. As you see, there's nothing in here on the bottom part because it did have that liner. So this is all the original paint in the bed, and obviously no damage or anything. I went with the Blazer style rear bumper with the brackets that pull it in tight. I paint the backside of the bumpers. You can probably see from the backside. Instead of just putting it on raw and later on it would rust just like everything would raw. I paint the backside of the bumpers. New side molding, new corner moldings, new tail lights, new wheel arch moldings, obviously wheels and tires. For most of y'all that are used to looking at 81 up square bodies, you're going to look at that wheel and say, is that a Ford wheel? Well, no. It's actually the OE white wagon wheels that these trucks came with in the 70s. So I wanted to be different and do something other than just rally wheels, which is what the truck came with. So I did those. Obviously I painted them silver rather than the white, and I added the trim ring. They did come with the center caps from the factory when they were white. All new brakes, drums, wheel cylinders, shoes, hardware, stainless steel brake lines, front to back, calipers, pads. I did not replace the front rotors because they only have 65,000 miles. I machined the original rotors because if you know, you know. You buy new rotors, you know where they're coming from and you know how long they're going to last. So I tried to keep as many original parts on this truck as I could for that same reason. Even small details like the original exhaust hangers I reused. The front one you can see right through there has a clamp that goes through the original hanger, which is factory. That is how that was from the factory. The only other hanger I added was a rod that is bolted to the cross member that's welded to a hanger. So there's nothing welded on the frame, nothing's been cut, none of that. It does have brand new exhaust front to back, brand new exhaust manifolds. It has 2 1/4 front pipes to a 3-inch center pipe, a 70 series Flowmaster, which we'll start it up here in a few, and it's very quiet. You actually have to put your ear up to it to really tell it's even a Flowmaster. Zero resonance, zero interior noise as far as the exhaust system goes. The parking brake cables, front to back, also all brand new. You know, I finished wire wheeling the frame, and the frame has been painted front to back. Both gas tanks are brand new with new sending units. New gas caps, new filler necks. So that's all brand new. The screws and all holding it, the bumpers, all that's fresh. All right, new cab trim. This is the original slider that I put the new chrome trim inside of it. We got a new cab light. These are the original drip rails. I just repainted the back side and polished the stainless. I guess we can kind of roll into the interior and then we'll keep on going. So when it was repainted, they didn't do the best job, as you see, but they did back tape, and this is the original paint, which is the apple red, original sticker here, but they did paint the jamb of the truck with the new paint. So that part has been painted. The jamb of the door is the original paint. Don't understand why they did that, but that was already done. I kept the original door strikers. I just added the new plastic piece there. So those are original. Original door panels, new pull, I'm sorry, not new pull straps, new caps, new aluminum trim here. Everything else is original. Door carpet's original, armrests, bags, straps. I did put new switches in. New rubber on the vent windows. Rebuilt the vent windows, as you can see. Original door mirrors, original lock cylinders. New outside door handles, original and correct screws and placement and all that technical stuff. Interior, new carpet, New seat cover, new floor mats, OE of course. I did not have to, for the people that follow some of the other videos when I get crazy with painting the pedal rods and all that, I did not even have to do that to this truck. I mean, look at the shine on that brake pedal rod, and that's all factory. We got new dash pad, new dash vent outlets, new trim on the dash over here, original Silverado emblem. I did replace the switching valve switch for the dual gas tanks, which worked flawlessly with the original switching valve, which I was even surprised myself that still worked, but it works flawlessly. Hit it one time and it's done, works great. Original radio, still works. Original steering wheel, I did put a new headlight pull on it. All the plastics are original. Kick panels, all your headliner surround stuff. I did put a new headliner in it with an ABS headliner board, because as you know, the original style boards with age just start to get dry rotten. Like I said, seat cover. Here's behind the seat. I did run the buffer across this top, this panel right here to shine that up, and also ran it across the bottom of the dash and shine that up a little bit. New door pin switches and the door jambs down there to cut your dome light on and off. We'll migrate around here to the engine bay. Like I said before, the original engine was a 305. He provided a 350 to go along with it. I ended up basically just rebuilding that 350 from scratch. It is a 010 4-bolt 350 block. It has a steel crank. It's got the good rods, has LT1 pistons, an RV cam, and just plain old 882 open chamber heads. I even dynoed it to break it in because, again, one of them, if you know things, when you're rebuilding a flat tappet camshaft engine these days, breaking it in is crucial. So not only did I want to break it in correctly, but also, see what it's going to do. So I'll show you the dyno sheet in just a minute, but it made 299.2 horsepower, which is great for what that is. It has brand new exhaust manifolds. All the air conditioning system is new. The condenser, the line set, the accumulator, the GM compressor. As you know, I'm queer about compressors. That's all I use. New coolant bottle. This is the original master cylinder and booster, believe it or not.
Same deal with that
steel brake
aftermarket.
lines I was talking about.
Aftermarket would have not been nearly as good. So
No. And if you zoom in down here, you can see the clamps for the vacuum hoses and the vent hoses, fresh. This whole deal right here is original. This charcoal canister, evap canister, whatever you want to call it, all the hoses, these zip ties right here, like this one right here with the little holes in it. If you remember these old GMs, they love them things. All this is factory, all factory. Basically, other than the fact that it's a 350 and not a 305, everything else is, if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't know. The only thing that's different, that's obvious, is the exhaust manifolds are different style on these versus a 305. Everything else, dimensionally, physically, fitment-wise, is the exact same. This is even the original top radiator hose. Now the radiator itself had been replaced already, so it does not have the original copper brass radiator. It's a plastic aluminum style like everything nowadays is. It does have new fan belts on everything. Everything on the firewall, it's all factory. Nothing's been added, removed, changed, nothing. All that's factory. Got the jack over here in the correct location, the correct holder, with the correct fresh decal on the fresh inner fender wells. The tire iron and the fold out deal is right here where it's supposed to be. It even has the original battery cables. The original radiator top cap.
I'm gonna start it and move it forward,
Okay.
so we can slip this one out, and then y'all can talk about it running. Then we'll
Okay.
back it back up.
Original snorkel. Original air dam on the front. Of course, shocks. Transmission lines also has brand new pre-bent transmission lines on front to back. New front bumper. Stainless steel front brake line. Going to the fresh calipers. All new bushings for your sway bar, which there's two right here, and then you have the ones on the frame. Those are all fresh. It does have a remanufactured new steering box on it. Just small details, like I put new bolts in the differential covers, front and rear. It's got some black flange bolts on the diff covers. As you can see from back here, I painted the back side of the front bumper as well before I put that on. New front grille. It does have the original valence panel there and the original lower air dam under the bumper. But the grille itself is new. I did replace that. It does have the original grille surround molding. Hood insulation. All the two correct horn bolts. You know, the correct bolts for your grille. There are no hardware store bolts anywhere on this truck. And the few that I found got thrown away and in the box with the rest of the truck. I told everybody I bought a truck in a box, but basically everything they took off when they disassembled it, they put in boxes. So I went through the boxes, found the bolts, restored the bolts, and put those back in. It wasn't many, but there was a handful. There's a couple things, there's a couple places on it that I wanted to talk about that before, people are assuming that it's perfect. I'm going to be the first to tell you it is not perfect, but it is very nice, and it's something that you could actually get in and drive and not have to worry because it's, quote, perfect, and somebody might touch it or a bug might get on it or whatever. I don't know if you can see it. I can't even see it right now until I get in the light, but there's a little funky place right here in the door, kind of a little wavy place. I'm not sure what's going on with that. There's also a small place here in the fender. It almost looks like a circle, almost like there was something there that was patched, but I mean, there's nothing that could have ever been there, so I'm not sure what that's about either. But again, it's something you have to get up on and really look to find. Let's go over to the other side. A couple small other little details that you'll have to get right up on to see. When I wet sanded it, the places where there was trash, when I knocked the trash off, underneath it was basically the primer. So there's a couple little tiny gray specks. I don't even know if you can see them in the video, but they're so tiny, you have to get this close to see them. And it's something, if you were to try to put touch-up paint on, it would end up looking worse than that. So I did not mess with that. I just left that alone. It was running a few minutes ago, obviously, and you can tell how quiet and smooth it is. Air conditioning on the way. I had to actually cut it down today. Today was the first day I drove it for any distance, and the air conditioning works great. Actually works probably better than anything else I have. Figures. But I think that's covering everything.
That's pretty
I can
much
think
it.
of.
You did pretty damn good to remember everything. So without any extra takes, it's a very thorough truck, and Kenny is.
Take a squat, AJ, up under the front and see if you can get a shot right through here. Take a look at the exhaust. It's got a brand new mini torque starter on it, which it's not, when I say mini torque, I don't want you to think it's some high performance thing. It's the same starter that comes on like a 95 Chevy pickup. So I put that on there just because they're small, they stay even further away from everything, and I didn't feel like lifting a 200-pound starter. So, and like you said, like I said, it does have the new pre-bent transmission lines. Oh, it also has the pre-bent fuel line that goes from the fuel pump up to the quadrijet. That's also a new pre-bent line as well. So all of the lines, transmission, fuel, brake, all are new and pre-made. There's no old stuff or something that I made in the driveway that looks like something I made in the driveway. And you can see the fresh exhaust going to the stainless steel 3-inch Y, and then 3-inch pipe going back to the muffler and all that. So I think that pretty much covers it.
Well, another pretty informative video. So even if you're not in the market for a square body, that just gives you a pretty thorough lesson. And unfortunately, again, they all can't be to this level. Kenny takes an extreme amount of time. The other truck we brought you this morning is just lucky to be original, so that's why it's so nice. Two pretty darn cool examples sitting here side by side, but this truck will be going up for sale. We're going to go through a few customers that have been waiting patiently just to let them know the update on it, and some others that have been waiting for something similar. And of course, anything that comes from Kenny is pretty spot on as far as he's been around it. Builds it like it's his own, because it's his own, with the touches he can get from us, the touches he already knows how to do. The 4-inch kit, 33s, I don't think he mentioned that, but it's
right,
4 inches.
It does have a brand new 4-inch lift on it.
Yep.
And 33-inch BFGs, brand new. We got however many miles it is from my house to here, that's how many miles they have on it.
So 20 miles or less on the tires, and most of the driveline actually.
Yeah.
And this would run a 35 with some trimming for guys that want to go bigger. You could put it on an offset wheel. You know, we know a lot of people want to carry it away from this look, which is fine. You know, that's your personal devil. We got somebody that wants to turn that into a four-wheel drive already. So, you know, I'd hate to see it, but hey, if it's your money, it's your money.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you wanted the barger look, it could be changed. I mean, anything could be done, but this truck's very era correct, mild lift, street drivable, street friendly. And again, he even went to the effort of, I thought he was going to forget that he dynoed the motor, but I mean, that's,
let me grab the dyno sheet.
yeah, that's some effort that most people just don't go to.
And something else you can see also, it still has the option sheet in the glove box that is 100% legible. Every option that's on there, 342 gears, apple red, the whole nine. Here's our dyno sheet. I'm sorry, I lied. It's 298.2 at 4,800, which is perfect for a truck like that, and about 376 foot-pounds of torque. So that's it, guys. Again, let us know for questions. Give us a little bit of time to get it loaded on the web, and we got to get it priced, and we got to go through a stack of receipts about like this thick to figure it all out. And but it will be something that is up for grabs, and a very, very, very nice truck. And again, if you hadn't caught some of the other videos with Kenny involved, we wish we could send them all to him, but when it takes 3 to 4 months to do a project, every project's different. Some take longer, some take less, but you know, he can't do but a few here and there. And then he dives in on a lot of our interior stuff. He's finishing up my Suburban right now, redoing the AC, putting a dash pad, some creature comfort things I wanted done. But you know, he's the man that turns the screw the right way and makes sure the clip's right. And sometimes we got to calm him down a little bit, tell him to slow down and don't go overboard, because he likes spending everybody else's money too, but he knows how to do it and do it right. So this one's been a long time in the making. We've been very excited to get this one to picture ready, video ready, and even though it was ready for the last couple of weeks, it wasn't his ready with all the little final touches that it takes to make it what it is. So, and like I said, the imperfections that it has, to most people, they look at it like a show truck. I mean, to most people, they would just go. Most people, I'm like, yeah, they come in my garage and look, oh my God, it's beautiful. You know, I'm like, yeah, it's not perfect though. It's got a couple places. And then when I show it, they're like, oh yeah, but I had to get down. they just discount it right off the bat. So
when you come from the era we do, and as picky as we like to be with stuff, and know what these were like new, like this, you can appreciate some of the things. And again, with the extra effort that this truck has, whether you want a short bed, want a long bed, want it bigger, want it smaller, you know, put an LS in it, whatever your choices are down the road, you don't have to do any of that. This is a driver quality truck that you could pull up at a cruise in and be appreciated. Your AC's working, your wife will ride with you. It doesn't stink when you drive it. You know, it's still breaking in, but even at that, you know, once somebody puts a few hundred miles on it, it's ready. You know, it's nice and fresh, down to the brakes, the safety items and everything. It will get Virginia inspected for safety, even though it's a classic, it doesn't have to. We're still gonna do that. You know, oil's fresh, fluids are good, and that truck's ready for a new owner. So appreciate you guys. And you forget anything, Kenny?
Yeah, take a look at the back of the T case and all, AJ. We didn't really, this gives a lot better view of how detailed. I took the case, that's one I'm glad I looked because I forgot all about that. Another one of them, if you know deals, 208 transfer case. It's been sitting around for 35 years. You know, if I would have just stuck that thing in there, it was going to leak, because all they do is use silicone to seal the case halves. And so I went ahead and took it apart, resealed it, and obviously painted it. I shined the tag up, I shined up the fill and drain bolts, even shined up the heat shield on the speedometer cable. Went a little overboard with that. But other than that, yeah. This side gets a little bit better view of everything. I guess that's it.
Yep, so that's the story of that one, guys. Stay tuned for the dropping of it online, davisautosales.com. And any further time we get to do some videos, Kenny's gonna take it back home and critique anything that he hasn't already. But you know, by the time he shows it to us and gets it to this point where he says, hey, you guys, it's ready, it's ready. It's very ready. So appreciate you guys subscribing, staying in touch. And again, this one is going to be a really nice one for somebody along the way. So stay tuned for all the info. Davis Drives, Davis Auto Sales, and Mr. Kenny the Doctor.
Thank you.